The fact that they are not letting me speak, means it is uncomfortable for them. Now, I would like to explain in a little bit of detail what this issue of national security exactly was. Okay? Rajnath ji is sitting here. Rajnath Singh ji, sir, please. Rajnath Singh ji is sitting here. He is aware of this matter. He is the minister. He is the person that spoke to General Naravane.
फिर आपने बोली नहीं, अब आप नहीं बोलना चाहते हैं, सब नहीं बोलना। सभा की कार्रवाई कल मंगलवार दिनांक 3 फरवरी 2026 को प्रातः 11 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
So clearly, as you can see, Rahul Gandhi continues to hammer the point home, saying that the Modi government has completely bungled the China policy, raising the Galwan issue, and an unpublished memoir related to former Army Chief General Naravane. That is the big showdown that is emerging from inside Parliament. Rahul Gandhi has been censured by the Speaker to not raise this matter because the Speaker has made a ruling on this entire matter, given the fact that this was an unpublished memoir. And the NDA has asked Rahul Gandhi to give some verified source before making these claims inside Parliament. Even though the chairperson pulled up Rahul Gandhi continues to hammer this point home, claiming that the central government under Prime Minister Modi has jeopardized national security when it comes to China. That is the big development that's coming in, and now Lok Sabha has been adjourned to tomorrow. But the Raksha Mantri as well as Amit Shah have raised the point that Rahul Gandhi is misleading the nation from inside Parliament. The Congress party, on the other hand, saying that the leader of the opposition is not being allowed to speak and raise these points inside the House. I'm joined by my colleague Arunima on the broadcast. So Arunima, despite the fact check that's coming in from the central government saying that these are unverified sources and this is an unpublished memoir, these details need to be verified before any statement is made in the House, Rahul Gandhi continues to hammer that point.
Yes, Rahul Gandhi is adamant. He says, and this was the last thing that he said, that the very fact that they're not letting me speak means that the issue that I'm raising is making the Prime Minister and the Raksha Mantri uncomfortable. And then the next line that he said before Jagdambika Pal, who was in the chair, adjourned the House for the day, he began by started saying that Raksha Mantri is here in the House and he met General Naravane. So he's continuing to emphasize that the points that he was making earlier in the day, he had made this allegation, something that the government rejected as baseless, but he made this charge that on the Kailash Ridge, 4 Chinese tanks had managed to come up. And he said that on this matter, General Naravane has spoken. But of course, what the Treasury is repeatedly pointing out, and senior ministers, the Minister in charge, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, Second in Command, Home Minister Amit Shah, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju, and the Prime Minister himself was seated for almost an hour while this melee was going on. So the entire top leadership of the government was trying to point out that the facts, as Rahul Gandhi is claiming, are not verified, not substantiated. Parliamentary procedures are very clear that you have to put things, authenticated. You have to authenticate them. And since these are not authenticated, there is a problem. But Rahul Gandhi is adamant, as I'm speaking to you, he's just scheduled to come out and speak to the media. There is a possibility that he will reiterate that tomorrow when the House reconvenes, he'll once again try and make the same charge.
Right, but Arunima, he's shooting off the shoulders of General Naravane, trying to make this huge point that these Chinese tanks entered into Indian territory on the Kailash track. I'm also joined by Pallavi Ghosh on the broadcast. So Pallavi, clearly the China chapter has been reopened once again by Rahul Gandhi, trying to make these claims. The government is very adamant about the fact that this is an unverified source. This is information that has not been vetted. But at the same time, Rahul Gandhi choosing to shoot from the shoulders of the former army chief.
So let's understand why Rahul Gandhi is doing it. Because Rahul Gandhi feels that there's one issue which he thinks can put the government into a bit of a dock, is to project it as a weak government, whether it comes to negotiations with America. I mean, look at the kind of posts which are being put out by many in the Congress party. They are saying that whenever you want to know anything about the trade tariff, about other issues, for example, the ceasefire between Pakistan and India, it's always been from a third-party source, and it's usually been from Donald Trump. So what is it that the Congress party is trying to do? The Congress party is trying to project this government as something which is extremely weak. And Rahul Gandhi is obviously in sync with his party line. Look at his statements through the day ever since he got up to speak around 1:15 to 1:30 p.m. He said, we have repeatedly been called as anti-national, that we don't care about the armed forces. I'm trying to rebut that, and that's the reason why he's picking up on the Nirvana manuscript, where he knows the rules. The rules are very clear. You cannot hold posters, you cannot hold banners on the floor of the House. You cannot quote from any books or articles as well, and certainly not ones which have not been published. And therefore, despite knowing that, Rahul Gandhi is goading, is provoking the government. He knows the House will be adjourned. He knows he's not going to get a chance to speak. He's coming back repeatedly making this point. So clearly his strategy is to project the Prime Minister as being a weak Prime Minister who could not stand up and show the lal aankh, to quote the Congress party, to the Chinese, or whether it comes to Pakistan as well.
Right, thank you Arunima and Pallavi for decoding that for us. So the political storm is only escalating over this entire matter. Question also remains, will this entire storm now draw out General Naravane once again to set the record straight over this statement that Rahul Gandhi is claiming has come in from him? Let's listen into more reactions coming in.
Karti, you are also an MP, not once, twice over, if I'm not mistaken. You know the rules. You cannot quote from a book. You cannot show banners and posters. What the speaker is saying is, we are repeatedly appealing to you, let the House run.
Obviously, there are lots of truths in the autobiography of General Naravane.
No.
There are obviously truths which the government doesn't want the nation to know about. It really exposes their lack of leadership, their failure in leadership, which they want to suppress.
Karti, fair point, but he began and he mentioned that he could have moved.
This is a ridiculous.
But it's not even published.
It is published. I mean, if somebody, do I have to only publish a book?
जो राहुल गांधी ने आज हाउस में किया उसको आप कैसे देखते हैं? लगातार रक्षा मंत्री कहते रहे कि वो जो बुक कोट करे वो पब्लिश ही नहीं हुआ।
पहले तो राहुल जी को सुनने के लिए ऑपोजिशन लीडर है, कितना सम्मान लिया। प्राइम मिनिस्टर खुद आए, खुद डिफेंस मिनिस्टर राजनाथ जी आए, लीडर ऑफ हाउस, दूसरी अमित शाह जी और बाकी तमाम लीडर राहुल गांधी जी को सुनने आए थे एज ए ऑपोजिशन हेल्दी लिविंग। बट राहुल गांधी जी बिल्कुल, जो स्पीकर साहब ने भी रूल दे दिया भी आप किसी जो बुक में से पढ़ के बताना चाहते थे चाइना की बात, वो कहीं बुक छपी नहीं, किसी ने छापी नहीं। अगर वो बुक छपी होती तो वो भी परमिशन मिलती, लेकिन वो सीधा देश, प्राइम मिनिस्टर और रक्षा मंत्री, जो कितना सेंसिटिव बात है, उससे कहीं ना कहीं उनकी इमेज को, हमारी देश को, हमारी देश की फौज को, एयरफोर्स को, नेवी को कहीं ना कहीं वो दुनिया के सामने उसको बदनाम करना चाह रहे थे। तो इससे कंट्री का बॉर्डर पे फोर्सेस खड़ी हैं, उनको कितना बड़ा उनके ऊपर असर पड़ सकता था, इसलिए बार बार सब रोक रहे थे। सिर्फ ये चिंता की बात थी, पर वो कहीं ना कहीं ये बात करने के लिए, देश को तोड़ने के, और जो बात करते हैं हम देश को कमजोर करने की, वो उस बात में लगे हुए हैं।
And whatever inside that book, they started to, Rajnath Singh ji started to.
Yeah, Arun said that book has not been published, so the rule is being violated.
No, rule is not violated. Nobody has quoted that. Then Rahul ji told that I am not quoting that book. Then Rahul ji told that there is a synopsis, it is out in magazine, a Caravan magazine. I wanted to say about that. That also.
These are the words of Army Chief, serious leader of our forces. And it's a conversation that he has had with Rajnath Singh ji and also with Mr. Narendra Modi. All I'm saying is that I want to say in the House what the Army Chief has written. बस वही मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ, आर्मी चीफ ने क्या बोला है, मोदी जी ने उनसे क्या कहा, राजनाथ सिंह जी ने उनसे क्या कहा, क्या ऑर्डर दिया, मैं पार्लियामेंट हाउस में बोलना चाहता हूँ। पता नहीं इतने क्यों डरे हुए हैं। आप कह रहे थे एमुनेशन है उससे डर। हाँ?
But Mr. Gandhi, Narwane's statement has come out. He is saying that not even 1 inch of the land was given.
That's not the point here. The point here is exactly what the Prime Minister said and what Rajnath Singh ji said. That is the point here, right? Whether the land was taken or not, that's a different question. We'll come to that. But before we come to that, the leader of the country is supposed to give direction. The leader of the country is not supposed to run away from decisions. and leave decisions onto other people's shoulders. That is what the Prime Minister has done. Okay, one second, let me speak.
You're making a very big allegation to Prime Minister.
No. I'm not. Let me speak.
But the book is not even published, Mr. Gandhi.
Let me speak. You're all defenders of the BJP.
No, not at all.
Yes.
Not at all.
That's your agenda.
No,
Now
not
listen
at
to
all.
me. You asked me a question. Let me answer the question. Okay. This is not me. This is the army chief. This is what the army chief has written in a book. The book is not being allowed to be published. It is languishing. And this is the army chief's perspective, his view. Why are they so scared of the army chief's perspective? Why are they so scared of what the army chief has to say? We learn something from it. Of course, we learn something about our Prime Minister. We'll learn something about Rajnath Singh ji, but we'll also learn something about our army and how they were let down by the political leadership of the country. That's one second, brother. So that is ये मैं बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि नरवणे जी ने प्रधानमंत्री जी के बारे में, राजनाथ सिंह जी के बारे में अपनी किताब में साफ लिखा है. वो एक आर्टिकल में आया है. मैं आर्टिकल को कोट कर रहा हूँ. मुझे बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. नारावाने जी ने ये किताब लिखी है. वो डरे हुए हैं क्योंकि अगर वो निकला तो नरेंद्र मोदी और राजनाथ सिंह की जो रियलिटी है वो लोगों को पता लग जाएगी कि जब चाइना हमारे सामने खड़ा था, आगे आ रहा था, 56 इंच की छाती को क्या हुआ था, उस लाइन में है पूरा. थैंक यू.
So as you can see, Rahul Gandhi is saying that the book that's been written by Naravane is being blocked by the central government is the charge that he's making. He's also saying that Prime Minister Modi and Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh are not allowing General Naravane's book to be published because they are afraid of what details might come out when it comes to the Galwan incursion by the Chinese forces over the standoff between the Indian troops and the Chinese troops. He's also gone on to accuse the journalists who are asking him questions, saying that they have a pro-BJP agenda, even though they were asking him very simple questions about the charges that he's raising. But at the end of the day, Rahul Gandhi shooting off the shoulder of General Naravane, who back in 2022 has made it extremely clear that not an inch of land was ceded to the Chinese side. He has made that extremely clear. But Rahul Gandhi now reopening the China chapter over this unpublished memoir of General Naravane shooting off the shoulder of the former army chief, citing an article that was published in the magazine that gave a synopsis of this unpublished book. Now, as per that synopsis, 4 Chinese tanks were able to enter the Kailash track is the charge that Rahul Gandhi is saying. He's also saying that there was a conversation between General Naravane and the Raksha Mantri and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What were the tenets of that discussion is the big question he's also raising at the same time. But the question emerges, General Naravane seems to be the subject of this entire storm, and it seems that he is likely to be drawn out to set the record straight when it comes to these charges coming in from the leader of the opposition. I'm joined by my colleague Pallavi Ghosh as the war overs only escalates over this matter. Pallavi, Rahul Gandhi getting a bit testy over there with the journalists who are asking him questions, openly calling them pro-BJP, but at the same time, now even adding to his previous charges that this unpublished book by Naravane is being blocked by the central government. It seems the charge just keeps escalating from the leader of the opposition.
And this is exactly what we were discussing a short while back, Ayushman. It's a very well thought out strategy on behalf of Rahul Gandhi. There was plenty in the presidential speech which spoke about the economy, about the G-Ram-G, but he preferred to skip all that. He did not talk about the G-Ram-G issue. He's not registered his protests against price rise. He only picked up on an issue which he thinks would put the Prime Minister into a tough spot, and that is to project him as a weak Prime Minister. There's a chronology to it. Look at the announcement of the ceasefire. According to Rahul Gandhi, that announcement was made by Donald Trump. It was not made by the government. Also, it's not been made once, but repeated number of times, at least 10 to 12 times, it has been made by Donald Trump. And thereby, the Congress wants to project the Prime Minister as someone who runs a weak government, where diktats are coming in from outside the country. Second, talking about the China issue, and this is something which Rahul Gandhi has often spoke about earlier, Galwan, how the security have been a compromise of our armed forces. This charge of being anti-national on Rahul Gandhi and on the Congress party, I think that is something which has somewhere stuck Rahul Gandhi, which is why he has decided that even though he's aware of the fact that there are definite rules inside the parliament where you cannot quote books or magazines, but more importantly, those which have not even been published, they are manuscripts, they need to be verified. We have to hear what Narwane himself has to say. But Rahul Gandhi is going on and on and on, as a result of which the House has been adjourned till tomorrow. Ayushman, because his plan and strategy is very clear, I want to make the Prime Minister look as someone who's extremely weak.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pallavi, for decoding that for us. Rahul Gandhi continues to hammer the point home that General Naravane has made it extremely clear in this unpublished memoir, the synopsis of which was released in a magazine, that the Chinese tanks were nearing in on Indian territory and there were tense exchanges between General Naravane, Rajnath Singh and Prime Minister Modi, is the charge that's coming in from Rahul Gandhi. But the centre has made extremely clear these charges are completely unfounded, accusing the LOP of misleading the nation. But the LOP also training his guns against the centre from the shoulders of the former army chief. Big breaking